everybody. Welcome to a holiday edition of our Panthers Postgame Live presented by Lenovo. I'm your host, Taylor Davis, joined by Kevin Donnelly and the Dabbin Santa Claus himself, Mike Tolbert. We are bringing the holiday spirit here in this studio. We kind of have to because the Panthers lose once again today to the Colts 38-6. Guys, we've had this discussion quite a few times, but this Colts team wasn't having that stellar of a season either. How did they get the win today?
Well, they definitely played with their home field advantage. You know, they was out there making plays when they needed to make plays. The punt return to start the game was really big for them. So.
Yeah, I think the special teams, you know, when you have two pretty evenly matched teams, they were 6 wins going into this. We had 5, and then you throw in there pretty even on offense and defense the way these things matched up. But then the special teams play, those 3 huge returns on punt returns is just really put the motivating, I think just energized that team and gave them that push to just dominate this game. I mean, these were unbelievable by the Colts and really set them up in scoring position. Obviously, 2 of them going for touchdowns, so that's tough. And I think from the outset, really, the big hole today was the special teams play.
Yeah, Nyheim Hines with both of those punt return touchdowns. He really set the tone early, but defensively, what made this so difficult?
Well, I think the way that they came out and wanted to establish the run. They didn't want to put too much on Jacoby Brissett's plate today, knowing that he's been a little banged up recently. Sure. So they wanted to come out and establish run. You know, Marlon Mack did that, and today that's our Achilles heel this whole entire year, not being able to stop the run.
Yeah, you know, with Brissett, only 119 yards passing, and so you knew they were going to lean on the run game because we defend it so poorly over the course of this season. It's just a fact. It's just not gone well. Marlon Mack goes for 95 yards, and then some other guys getting involved in that. Obviously, over 200 yards rushing for the Colts, and that's a recipe for a win because they protected the ball. There were 0 turnovers by them. Get this, 0 penalties for the Colts. The one they had offsetting that led to the re-kick, and we know how that ended in a touchdown.
Certainly another difficult day, but let's send it back out to Indy, hear from Bill Voth and Caroline Can. Guys, take it away.
Well, Taylor, Caroline, you know, we've been a broken record for a while, like not stopping the run, too many turnovers. Well, Panthers found a different way to lose today, and that was on special teams.
Yeah, it was. You're not going to win the ball game when you allow 2 special team plays to go back for a touchdown and you turn the ball over. The Colts went no penalties, no turnovers, and just held on to the football, and that's why the score is what it is today.
Yeah, it was 2 punt returns for a touchdown, but the first punt return set up a touchdown. I think it was a 36-yard drive the Colts had for their first touchdown, so they really didn't have to do much on that. But yeah, Will Grier, he did turn it over. 3 interceptions. The first one, it looked like you could have argued it was Jarius Wright's ball, but the last 2 were bad decisions by Will Grier.
But I thought what we saw out of Will Grier for a majority of the game was okay for me. He was doing checkdowns, he was finding the playmakers, he wasn't doing too much. But then when they started to try and extend the field, that's where he got into trouble. And the rookie quarterback, he showed his youth on a lot of plays, and it certainly was not enough to get the job done today.
7 straight losses now for the Panthers. Guys, back to you.
Thank you both. Caroline, we all see that new ring of yours. Congratulations on your engagement. We're very happy for you. Well, she echoed your sentiment, Kevin, about the disciplined football that we saw from the Colts. Unfortunately, not the narrative for this Panthers team, and a very difficult one was the ejection of Vernon Butler after throwing a punch. Unfortunately, look at you, about to laugh, Kevin.
No,
I know, it was unfortunate. He also gave the finger on his way out. Just, you know, another difficult thing to add to a difficult season. How do things like that affect the defense?
I think, you know, it's been very frustrating for this defense. And then you tack on to that again, the game started off poorly with the way the Colts got off to a hot start. And them able to run the ball. And then, you know, Vernon Butler got blocked downfield about 10 yards. And it's tough, but you got to get up and play the next play. I know you're frustrated. You can't take a swing at a guy. And it was just, I smiled just because Jack Doyle had nothing to do with anything and gets smacked in the face. But sets up, you know, the ejection, obviously, and the big penalty that got them downfield and set them up and a chance to score again. So, you know, I think it's just a microcosm of the way this season is, how frustrated everyone is, and him being a young player that's still trying to find his way and his niche, you know, on this team. It all piled up, and it was just, like I said, a microcosm. Everyone's feeling that same way. He was just the one to take the first swing, and he paid for it.
Tolbert, you've said, I mean, you've been in those situations on the field. Things get heated. That's a part of the game. And obviously, this Panthers team has been a little discouraged at this point of this season. Well, we are going to send it back out to the press conference room, here from head coach Perry Fewell.
I thought he should have been ejected for the act he committed on the field. It's not to our standard, and we will talk as an organization about that.
What happened today, do you think, with coverage?
Dangerous return man. We didn't get population to the ball. They had an opportunity for explosive. We tried to punt the ball away from him. We tried to punt it out of bounds. We did not do that. We mishit the ball, and result was 2 touchdowns.
How tough was it to start that way? They had a very short field to open the game, and then obviously a touchdown, just to not even really be able to get settled before you're dealing with such an uphill battle with special teams playing hard.
Yeah, definitely puts you behind the 8 ball. Starting out, you want to come out and start fast. You want to come out and establish some rhythm, some tempo, and obviously we did not do that. We wanted to play offense, defense, and special teams play in accord, play in harmony with each other, and we did not accomplish that today, and that was the most disappointing thing because that was one of the goals for the game.
When you see some of the frustration starting to spill over, what do you say? How do you have everyone come together? What's your message in the locker room?
We have a 1-game season, okay, and obviously we're all disappointed in what our product doesn't look like that during the course of the week, okay? So I've got to find a way to make sure that product looks better on game day. I'm searching for those answers, and we just got to do a better job of staying focused throughout the game.
What went into the decision not to start Dante Jackson today, and why was he not with the defense?
He had a poor couple of weeks in performance, and so we felt like we needed to make a change and have someone else play instead of Dante today.
How did you think Will Grier performed?
I'll have to look at the tape, to be quite honest. I know statistically, I know he had 3 interceptions. I thought he made some good decisions early in the ball game. I thought he used his feet in the ball game at times. But I'll just have to really look at the tape and assess the overall performance.
2 of those interceptions were actually possessions by your receivers that got wrestled away. At that point, what do you do? How do you coach that?
Yeah, we've got to help Will. Everybody has to help Will. We have to go up and compete for the ball. One of the interceptions, as we were looking at on the field, it was an interception, and then our receiver went back to challenge it, and he took the ball away. But they ruled it down by contact. So we just have to do a better job of coming back, getting the ball, and everybody has to help Will.
Did you have a conversation with Dante Jackson prior to today's game, letting him know that he wouldn't be playing at all, or how did that conversation go?
I did have a conversation with him that he would not start. We did not intend not to play him. He did play on special teams, and he tried to contribute on special teams today.
Did you talk to Vernon Butler after?
I have not been able to speak to Vernon.
Hey, Perry, Ross Cockrell in the Converse, that one stop down at the goal line seemed to be quite an effort play when he stood pat and kind of wasn't fooled by the play to rent the score. Aside from that, how would you assess how he did today?
Again, I'll have to look at the tape to give you an evaluation of that.
And just kind of follow up, is he a player that you guys feel comfortable you could put in because he's consistent and he does continue to try to make those effort plays?
No doubt, yes.
Very tough on Will in the offense to lose DJ so early in the game.
A big time, yeah. Once DJ went out of the game, obviously that's one of your playmakers, one of your weapons. So the timing and the rhythm of the offense, the person he's been throwing to all week, that's now gone. So you have to replace that, and that's tough for a young quarterback.
I'm sorry, Coach. I assume you'll start Will again next week, though?
We'll evaluate the tape, and then we'll talk as an organization, and we'll make a decision.
Brian Grant looked like he may have got hurt there at the end. Do you have any updates?
I do not have any updates on him at this point in time.
Perry, with the turnovers and the run defense giving up big plays, do you feel like a broken record at this point, week after week?
Yeah, we have a pattern that we have set for ourselves. It's a pattern that we need to break, and that's disappointing. We were playing good defense, run defense at a certain point, and then the dam opened up.
How much pressure with the return game being our coverage team playing so poorly did that put on Will Grier?
I think it put pressure on the entire team, because it's a 21-point type of a swing, so to speak, with field position, 2-punt returns, and then they gained field position on the first punt. So I think it put pressure on the entire team, and instead of staying focused, we probably panicked a little bit.
I guess what I'm asking is how fair is it to do a full evaluation on Will because of
those circumstances arise in a ball game, and you have to take that into account. You have to be able to bring your team back and make an answer, and that just comes with the job.
I know you got to evaluate his game, but is there one play that Will made that made you think like, okay, yeah, I like what I'm seeing right here?
Well, you know what? Sometimes when Will was out there and he used his legs, I enjoyed watching him use his legs and scramble and come out and just really, run the ball. If you don't like what you see, take off and run the ball. And I thought he did that several times very well.
Did he seem comfortable to you from your perspective? I know you got to watch film. Did he seem really comfortable out there for you?
I'll have to evaluate that.
Same question for your offensive line. How would you evaluate what they did today? Pretty aggressive pass rush at times.
Yes, like I said, I have to look at the tape to evaluate that, and then I can get back with you.
The 4th and goal from the 5 that you had early after a long drive, what went into the decision to go for it?
We were down by 2 scores. I felt like we needed to put points on the board, okay? And so I wanted to be aggressive. I wanted to give Will the opportunity to stick one in the end zone, and the only way I could give him that opportunity was to go for it. And I felt confident, based on what I'd seen in the practices and some of the plays called, et cetera, that we possibly could make that happen.
Was Filardi supposed to kick out of bounds after the first touchdown? You were talking about the last one?
After the last one, yes. I think he just mishit it.
Coach, I know that there's frustration in there. How are you handling all of it and staying centered through all? It's been a lot the last couple of weeks, and obviously you have to be the one to keep everyone together.
Sure, yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm disappointed because I have not brought the team success in winning. I'm thinking of it as a one-game season, so I've got to refocus. I'll just take a deep breath, refocus, try to win one game against New Orleans, and then I'll deal with the rest.
Thanks, guys. The locker room's open.
What's up, Brandon?
Okay, guys, I want to talk about Will Grier's first start. Obviously, the past few weeks, a lot of fans were eager to see this guy get a start after Kyle Allen had some struggles, but a tough day for Will Grier as well. 3 interceptions. He took 5 sacks, 27 of 44. He did showcase some mobility. That was maybe a bright spot. What did you two see from the rookie?
I think all in all, he played pretty well. He moved well in the pocket. He was able to find an open receiver, getting the ball checked down to his outlets. Christian had a really big day from him. But one thing I wanted to see was more zone read plays. He's got the ability to run the football. I want to see more zone reads, giving him and Christian an opportunity to choose what they wanted to do. And also, I want to see Christian run the ball a little bit more, to protect your young rookie quarterback.
I think this game got out of hand, after the first half. I liked what he was doing in the first half, and most of the sacks and interceptions coming in the second half. I think it's, a guy just trying to make a play, just get it downfield, somebody do something. This season, we got 5 wins on the year. I don't think just doing check down all second half is what you want to see. Take a few risks. So to me, in his first start, I have no problem with those throws. The decision making will come as he gets more experience. But I kind of liked what I saw, and I liked his mobility. I mean, you mentioned it, and Coach did too. There's some bright spots there, and I agree. A zone read here and there, incorporate what Cam did. He's not Cam, but we've seen him run in college, and we know what he can do, and that's something that could have been a threat today and made the Colts, maybe slow down on defense a little bit if that threat is there.
Mm-hmm. Well, another bright spot for this offense, once again, is anyone surprised? It's Christian McCaffrey. At this point of the season, the guy is breaking his own records. I mean, you're good when you're doing that. What stood out to you about this guy today?
I mean, just his durability. Being able to be on the field for today, I think it was 94% of the plays. Mm-hmm. Being able to be out there, but continue to be explosive every snap. Continue to have that same energy, that same fight every play in and out. I mean, it's a tremendous testament to what he does in the offseason, preparing his body, preparing his hands to catch his ball as much as he does. I mean, he broke his own record today. The only running back in NFL history to have 2 seasons with 100 or more receptions. You have to tip your hat to him.
Yeah, and to me, he's just a guy that can make plays out of nothing, because sometimes the short checkdowns, yeah, they're there, but making really good players miss. And that's what he's done all season long. And really the goal of the offseason, I think, find more guys like Christian McCaffrey at different positions that can be playmakers and game changers. Doesn't matter if it's D-line, O-line, another wide receiver, a linebacker, whatever it is. Find that nugget. We're probably going to get a really high pick in the draft. I hate to mention the offseason, but that's a guy you want to model, and all these other guys need to look at to see how to prepare as a professional, because he is the consummate pro.
Another thing that really, you guys said it, his stamina is unmatched. It's at the point where every time he goes off the field, everyone's like, wait, what? Christian just left the field? That never happens. And I heard during the broadcast they were mentioning that a way he prepares for season is actually MMA training, that he does other forms of fighting to kind of prepare for taking those hits. And you really see that pay off in his stamina. Now, it was announced this week he and Luke Kuechly will be heading to the Pro Bowl this week, certainly deserved by both of those guys. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the defense. Like we've said, another difficult day for them. It's been a difficult season, especially against the run. Where do you two see as needing to be a focal point for the defense as they prepare for next season?
Well, I think you have to solidify your defensive front. Obviously we got Shaq Thompson coming back. We got Luke Kuechly. Your linebackers are set. But we need to solidify. Are we going to be a 3-4 team? Are we going to be a 4-down team? You need to solidify the big guys in the middle. It'll be a great positive getting Kawan Short back next year, but you need somebody to go alongside him. Mario Addison's contract's expiring. Bruce Irvin contract's expiring. Brian Burns' first-round draft pick is coming on, but we need a solid front up front. So.
Yeah, and I think in addition to some players like he's mentioning, the scheme is really important, is how this fits together, because it never really looked like everyone was on the same page with so many gaps and loss of the gap control. And I think even in the rushes, there's been pressure, and they've had sacks this year. But today what I didn't like is they're getting some pressure, but no one's doing their rush lanes appropriately where they could contain Jacoby Brissett. He got some good runs to propel drives and keep them moving, and some big gains. He's athletic. It was disappointing to see such big plays off of him making, in his legs, and not forcing him to stay in the pocket and make some throws. And that's why he was able to have a really consistent day and lean on the run game.
So if you're talking bright spots on the defense, we'd see some great plays from Trey Boston this season. We saw a great stop from Ross Cockrell going into halftime. Who are some guys that you think have solidified their place?
Well, I think obviously Luke, first and foremost, is the catalyst to this whole defense.
Yeah.
And you could just see the frustration on his face by the way things were taking place the past few weeks. Shaq Thompson, another guy that is going to be here. Right. So you have to build around that core, and everybody else has to play into their role and know their role.
Yeah, I think on defense, you got Bradbury, Reed, Kuechly, and Kawan Short. And then everyone else, jobs, you're fighting for jobs after that, because I don't think anyone's just been a major player. Obviously you're keeping Burns because he's the draft pick, and Christian Miller and some younger guys you're trying to develop, but certainly there's a lot of personnel moves that they got to decide on. What's the defense going to look like next year? What kind of personnel do you need for that? And there's going to be some changes, because this defense was not the typical Panthers defense we've seen over the years.
Absolutely. Well, let's get some personal insight on what's going on with this defense. We'll send it back out to Caroline Cann, who is with Jermaine Carter for CPI Voice of the Defense.
Caroline Cann, joined by Jermaine Carter, CPI Voice of the Defense. You get more reps today, and I know it's not the outcome that you guys wanted, but how did it feel to get out there and find a rhythm?
Well, it just felt good to be back out there with, playing some football on the defensive side of the ball. Mainly my role has been special teams, and whenever I've been asked to play defense, I've been able to come up and do what I'm asked to do. It's just I've been out there having fun and just being able to be out there with the guys. Unfortunately, we didn't get the win, but just being out there was fun.
I did see a big smile on your face for a lot of the game. Just being able to get those reps and hear from Luke and hear from Shaq, how has this week been for you getting this opportunity?
Well, it's been big. I don't want to say I'm a great football player, but I know how to play football. And for me, it's all about getting reps, getting the opportunity, and just getting my feet wet. And just with this opportunity right now, I think that's what I'm doing. And as I continue to get more reps, I'm just going to get better and better.
Do you feel like you got the best out of this opportunity?
I did, but I did miss a sack today that I did beat him pretty clean. I feel like I'm a pretty good player when I'm attacking, and when I'm back sitting, I'm not the best player. But when I'm attacking and coach puts me in position to attack, I feel like I'm pretty good at that.
Well, I know there's one more week of this season. I know a win would be the way to do it, but how can you take this next game and make the season end on a good note?
Definitely just coming to practice hard, coming every day with the right mindset, just being ready to be prepared for Sunday, studying film. You know, I studied a lot of film this week for this game, and I was out of position probably one play today and one or two plays that I probably wish that I could have back, but just got to make up for that next week.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. That is Jermaine Carter, the CPI voice of the defense.
Thanks for having me.
Well, Jermaine certainly stepped in for Shaq Thompson, did a pretty good job out there, and he talked about missing a sack, and told there was a couple of guys that missed sacks today. Reed had one where he could have gotten the quarterback, and I think there was another one on a rollout that just tried to jump for the ball, knock it down, and ends up pump faking it and gets the play downfield. So difficult in those situations, but he filled in well, and I think some of the frustration on defense obviously was some younger guys starting out there.
Well, absolutely, but you look at Jermaine, he's a guy that sat last year behind Thomas Davis, Luke Kuechly, so he's had an opportunity to learn from really, really good football players. You know, both of those guys are perennial All-Pro, Pro Bowl type players. So when you look at it, he's in the perfect position. Shaq Thompson goes down, he's able to step in with the knowledge and not have to play thinking about it. He can just run and play fast, and that's what he did today.
Well, you know, today, a couple of things that went against the Panthers. Definitely the special teams was a huge minus for the Panthers today. And this one, the re-kick on the punt that really, I think, solidified the Colts as really having a great day. They just they used that momentum and just carried it through the rest of this game. But here, break this thing down. As this punt gets punted back, it's the re-punt. He catches this thing. What goes on with this coverage that they don't quite get it done?
Well, let's let everybody know, first off, the re-punt, the re-kick is the worst play for a guy that plays on special teams.
No, you know? Every coach will tell you that in the league.
That's the worst thing. So if a head coach has an opportunity to make somebody re-kick, he's going to do it because you're out there dog-tired and you're just fighting and clawing just to get a guy down. But as you let this play run right here, you look at this guy right here. Oh, we're going to run it back just a little bit. You look at this, right, stop right there. Number 18. He's your gunner. He's your force player. He's like your defensive end on a running play. Right. He's got to force everything inside of him. He can't let it get outside of him. These two guys are designated to block him by himself. So he lets the ball get outside of him, and then here he's trying to get somebody to get inside of it. But as you can see, the punt return just put his foot in the ground. There's nobody within 5 yards, 10 yards being able to tackle him.
Rewind that a little bit because you're exactly right. I noticed this. Look. He gets inside of here, right, and not to maybe where he's supposed to be here. And look at the chain reaction of what happens with guys that could possibly get downfield and maybe make a play. Guys are getting on the ground because he's disrupted them, tripping them up, getting them on the ground. And now you have a big pileup of Panthers. Next thing you know, he's out the gate.
Right. I mean, his main responsibility is to keep everything inside. And when he gets down there, he's taught to shoot at this outside leg right there. He shoots at that leg, that's forcing him to get out of bounds. The thing that he wants to do, he wants to make that punt returner restart his feet. So if he's catching the ball, he's running, he makes him want to stop, redirect, do anything. But he had a clean lane and just took off running.
Yeah, and the rest is history right there. We don't need to go over any of the bad plays from today. Let's go now to the press conference and hear from Will Grier.
Not the result that I think we all wanted. But it's good to get out there and get experience, get hit again. That was fun, and just got to keep building. All I know what to do at this point is just to keep fighting and come back next week and prepare and get ready for the Saints.
Did it take a second, like a drive or so, for you to feel comfortable out there, or did you start for you?
Yeah, I mean, comfortable. I was comfortable the whole time, but more so just getting into the rhythm of playing again. It's been a long time. Haven't taken many reps at all, so there's just things that kind of come with that. And but I felt comfortable the whole time out there, and like I said, I think it just didn't go our way today.
How much did losing today so early in the game kind of throw you guys off? I mean, obviously not having him out there helping you off.
Yeah, that wasn't ideal. He's a big part of what we do, and like I said, just wasn't ideal. All I know what to do is fight, and I just went out there and tried to fight and give it my all for this team, and that's all I can do. And I'll keep fighting every day and keep coming back to work and keep fighting.
Hey, Will, sorry to come in late. A couple of those plays that you extended using your legs, we do see you and Scott and Kyle working on that quite a bit in practice. Is that an aspect of your game where you think you've developed a little bit better?
Yeah, absolutely. I've always used my athleticism when I play, and I think it's a vital part of being a quarterback, being able to evade the rush and keep plays alive, or be able to, extend plays, get first downs on third downs if it's not there. And, that's just part of my game.
What are some of your initial reactions to your play today? I bet you've got to watch film, but just kind of what are some of your reactions to your play?
I fought every play. There's some things that I probably left out there, but a lot of it is we played from behind and we hurt ourselves in key situations, and there's a lot of things I could have done better, but I'm proud of the way that I went out there and fought. I think it was a good experience, and there's a lot to build on, and all I can do is go watch the film and try to move forward.
Will, interceptions 2 and 3, are those throws you want to have back, or were you just saying, I got to try and make a play right now?
I was trying to set a spark. I don't necessarily want him back. The last one probably could have put out in front of him a little bit more. But that's part of the game. I mean, like I said, we were playing from behind. They were playing really soft and playing to intercept the ball, and I pushed it downfield. But we had to go. We had to get something going. And, I'm not interested in trying to have the best stats. I'm trying to win the game and trying to do what's best for the team and, trying to be aggressive, try to make something happen.
The first one kind of a welcome to the NFL because I think many Big 12 linebackers are ranging that far downfield.
Yeah, that was a really good play. I thought Jarius caught it, and that guy made an incredible play. That's they're allowed to make plays too. They're good players, and it's part of it. I don't necessarily want the throw back. I think it was it was a good throw, and he just kind of made a play on it.
Well, sorry if you've answered this already, but what are the positives? What can you take from this game that you can build on?
There's a lot of things I can learn from and build on, but I think there is some positives. There's things. I mean, we got to finish in the red zone. There's so many things that we got to do better, but I think that at the end of the day, I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to come back to work tomorrow and keep fighting.
I guess silver lining is Christian McCaffrey now 60-some yards or whatever from 1,000 to 1,000. What's it mean to you to be a part of that, I guess, even at the end of the season?
It means a ton. I love Christian. I love the way he fights. It means a lot to me to be there for him, and he fights till the end, and I just want to do the same. And I've always just tried to do my job on this team, and he gives it his all every snap, and I really respect that.
Was there a point where you decided to get the ball to him to get him closer?
No, not really. A lot of that is just because they were playing so soft. There was really nothing open down the field because they were up, and that's really, you got to just take stuff underneath at that point. So.
The game getting pretty erratic at times, some of the punt coverages and things like that, getting you guys back on the field super quick. What do you do when there's so much happening at one time? What do you do in the huddle? How do you command everybody, and what's your cadence and demeanor?
I'm very positive. I'm always calm, always poised, and confident out there. I try to instill confidence in our guys. We got to it's just one play at a time mentality. You can't get it all back in one play. You got to go out there and chip away at it. And I just tried to lead and get those guys in the position to be successful.
I know you pride yourself by your tattoo being a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
So how does a game like this fit into that?
It kind of motivates you. I mean, I have a lot of confidence. I think I'm a really good player, and I think I can play really well in this league. And I just want to go back and fight and keep working and get better, because I know that there's a lot left out on that field, and I know that we can be better. I know I can be better, and I know that result doesn't reflect who I am as a football player.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great to hear from the rookie quarterback after his first start. I liked what he said. He doesn't lack confidence. He believes that he can perform well in this league. This just has been a very difficult recipe for any of these young quarterbacks to find success in, and that's just the reality of this season. A few weeks ago on our podcast, Kevin, you said something to me about when you have been a part of teams that are going through a difficult season, you look at it glass half full, and you said you really do lean on your teammates, and it kind of bonds everybody, and you really buy into that team because it's really all you have. So if there is a silver lining that maybe we can take away from this season, it could be that. So How do both of you attest to what it could be doing maybe behind the scenes that we don't see?
Well, it is galvanizing because when the fans see these disappointing losses, sometimes they can kind of flock, they go away. They go away and they're not behind you or they're criticizing you a lot. But with Will Grier, I love his attitude through this. And I think what's really important is not this game, but how does he come back next week? Sure. Does he learn from the mistakes? Does he just take a little step to get a little bit better? And I think that's really critical that he goes into the offseason that, today they got 71 plays he got to run this offense and he threw the ball 44 times. That is great film for him this week. He can learn from and hopefully beat down the Saints next week here in Bank of America Stadium.
Absolutely.
Nothing gets Kevin more fired up.
Right. I think today it wasn't Will's responsibility. Sure. Will did what he needed to do to win the football game. Like he said, he put people in positions to win, be successful. Mm-hmm. Just obviously things didn't go our way, but it's something about having a guy that you can look to focus on to say he's our guy. Sure. And this team, knowing that Will played a pretty good football game today, they can go into the week knowing that he's going to be prepared, and then there's no uncertainty around him now. So everybody else can go in and get better and galvanize, like Kevin said.
Absolutely. Well, they have one more test this season, and it will be a tough one as the Saints come to town. But everyone, enjoy the game. Come out and cheer these Panthers on. Let's finish this season on a high note. From our Panthers family to yours, happy holidays. Eat, drink, be merry. Enjoy the week with loved ones. We will be back next week. Thank you for watching Panthers Postgame Live, presented by Lenovo.